The next 10 minutes is going to be some of the most important minutes you're going to experience this year, perhaps in your life ever. I want you to pay a lot of attention. So I'm going to give you a few seconds. Put your glass of water down. Focus. Make sure you can hear me. Turn the volume up. Sit very fucking still. I keep getting asked various different concoctions of the same question. And what people are trying to do is find a way to escape the matrix, as they should be, and they are asking the correct person, me. Most people who are looking to escape the matrix understand that it is nearly impossible to do without finance. You need to have money. If you don't have money, then you're going to be stuck as a wagey or a brokey, and you're going to be beholden to the systems which you could side skirt if you had enough money. That's true. There's actually a lot more to escaping the matrix, because you also need to build up your physical capabilities, and most importantly, you need to free your mind to the point where you can say the truth even to your own detriment, even if it ends up putting you in jail. But I digress. It is an important stage for you to make some money, correct? However, a lot of people have this dream, and the dream is how a lazy loser, which most of you are, 99% of you are lazy losers, imagines getting rich and imagines how they're going to become rich overall. So I want to make something clear to you. Anybody who's not rich in the world today is one of three things. You're either lazy, arrogant, or stupid. Most of you are not stupid. I would say less than 5% of people are too stupid to become rich. The majority of people are either too lazy to work the way they need to work, or too arrogant to believe they should work. And this is not just for people watching at home who have no money. This is also for people watching at home that have a little bit of money. If you do not have millions and millions of dollars, considering the period we've just went through where the matrix was completely cracked and broken, and the money printers were on full, and free money was being given out everywhere, and Bitcoin went up to the moon from nowhere, and all this money was just appearing on the fucking street. You could scoop it up off the side of the road. If you do not have millions of dollars at this point, you are either lazy, arrogant, or stupid. I meet a lot of business people, and I speak to a lot of businessmen. I speak to a lot of people, especially who have online companies, or I see on Twitter, etc. And most of them are so brutally arrogant. They think they're interesting. They think they have a brand. They think they matter. They brag about how they saw in a Starbucks once. But truthfully, they're broke nobodies. Nobody gives a shit about any of these people because they're so arrogant they're not prepared to do the work. None of you, or very few of you, are too stupid to become rich, but the majority of you are too lazy or too arrogant. What you're hoping is going to happen to you is the lazy person's dream of how you become monumentally wealthy, and that is as follows. You have this idea that if you come into something first, if you come in before everybody else, you can rape it with very little effort, and you can become rich, and then by the time everybody else catches on to it, you'll already have heard about something else, and you'll move on, and with very little effort, you will once again rape this gold mine, this ecosystem. You'll destroy it, rip it apart, take all the money, and vanish without ever doing any work. That is not true. The reason that is never going to happen is because every single time any ecosystem, any gold mine, any salt mine, any fucking diamond mine, whatever, any pile of money is identified, groups of people are going to flock to it. And of course, there's a massive advantage of being early, but there are two types of people who are going to flock to this pool of wealth. There are the lazy losers who think, I'm in early, I can make easy money. And there are the professionals like me. I am a professional, and if I find a pool of money, and if my team find a pool of money, if HU or the War Room or any people who are associated to me find a pool of money, we do not operate under the guise of laziness like you clowns do. We don't turn up and go, this is easy money, I can make a little bit of money, I don't have to try very hard. We think if we were to try as hard as possible, we can take everything. We can put him out of business, and we can put him out of business, and we take all the money from him, and by the time everyone else heard of it, I've taken it all. Let's imagine it this way. There's a gold mine. We've discovered some gold in a river down over there, yonder way, past Wyoming. If you get over there, there's a gold rush. Go quickly. And you turn up, and you have a little shovel, and you dig for an hour a day, and you get a little bit of gold, and you're richer than you've ever been. And you have all those free hours you can just spend sitting around jerking off and being a fucking dork. I turn up with my team. I don't want to work an hour a day. I want to work 18-hour days. I want to build cranes, and I want to have all of my staff on site, and I want to take the whole river, and I want to build a dam and block it all off so not a single fucking piece of gold gets past me. And then I'm going to sieve every single piece of dirt, and we're going to bring in heavy machinery, and we're going to take all of it. And you are going to be sitting there with your shovel in one hand and your dick in the other, broke. Because you had a chance, but you were fucking lazy. And if I see a chance, the difference between you and me is that I don't believe in being lazy with anything ever. Let me give you an example. If you found out how to make $10,000 an hour, you would sit there and say, I only have to work an hour a week. Whereas I would say, at $10,000 an hour, I should only sleep 2 hours a night. I should make $220,000 a day. And that is what I would do. And that's why I perpetually win. So, the lazy loser's dream is that you can get in early on some garbage and not try very hard, and then you can make a whole ton of money, and then you can jump to the next thing once everybody else catches on. That's never going to happen. What can happen is you can get in early and work extremely hard and become extremely wealthy. And the fantastic thing about this is you only have to pull this off once. One time is all it takes. If you could just dedicate yourself to something for once in your fucking life, put the porn down, get your dick out your hand, and focus for once in your life, for one period, you could be rich forever. All you have to do is not be a lazy loser. So a lot of people message me going, hey, yeah, I want to get in early before the other people are in, blah, blah, blah. Listen, there's no point getting in early if you're lazy, because I'll come along after you and destroy you. Do you understand? It's not just about getting in early. It's also about doing the work. I'm going to talk about all the times I predicted the future. Anybody who's been following me long enough throughout all my reincarnations on Twitter has seen me. I bought $300,000 of Bitcoin when it crashed all the way down to $3,000. They've seen me be the first when I talked about DeFi. I was in cake at pennies. It went all the way up to $18 or something ridiculous. I made like $20-30 million off that. We've called Bitcoin, we've called DeFi, we've called so many things in advance and told people you can make untold amounts of money if you just get in and work hard. We've been doing it with Hustle University and War Room for years. And what annoys me is when I tell people, don't you wish you were in early on Bitcoin? They say, yeah, man, yeah, if only I knew. But the worst thing is, they did know. They heard whispers. They heard the name Bitcoin here and there. They didn't take it seriously. They didn't research it. Or even if they did, they looked at it and goes, maybe I'll put in a little bit of money. They didn't get a second job to get more money to buy more Bitcoin. They didn't try. They heard about it. They thought maybe I could get in on it, maybe. They heard some whispers and didn't research. They took their lazy ass and got a lazy shovel down the river, fucked around with a little bit of sand, made a tiny little bit of gold, and gave up. They didn't attack it properly and ruthlessly, and that's why you did not make generational wealth off of your chance. You fucked it up. There's something else happening right now, and it annoys me because everybody knows what I'm about to say. You have already heard about AI. You've already seen on Twitter AI. You know people are talking about AI. You know AI is here to stay. They're not going to wake up tomorrow and decide to not use AI anymore or just turn it off. It's here forever. If you get in early and you work hard, you can use AI to become something that matters and stop being a piece of shit loser. But despite all of this, despite the fact that you hear about AI, you know it's going to take over the world, you know you're no longer going to be competitive without it, you are still so brutally lazy and arrogant that you're either A, one, not using it at all, or two, if you're using it in some amateur, lazy bullshit. AI is even more important than the Bitcoin you missed. It's more important than the DeFi you missed. It's more important than all the things I talked about. I predicted how COVID was a scam. I've made money on the war in Ukraine. I've made so much money, and it's all public record because I'm never, ever wrong. So when I say this to people, I say, so what are you doing with AI? They go, nothing. Why nothing? The most crazy thing about this AI stuff is you can actually use it to do things that are kind of interesting. Imagine you're a total dork nobody. Sorry, most of you don't have to imagine. You're a total dork nobody. You could actually use AI to pretend you're a superhero. You could pretend to be me. So I have full-time teams inside of Hustle University which are using AI to produce endless amounts of content. We are producing movies. We are producing comic books. We are producing cartoons. We have an Andrew Tate voice. We have endless TikToks being generated by machines and put out into the matrix, letting people know that your mind can be freed. Thousands and thousands of man hours are being produced inside of minutes using AI. And when you miss that chance and you don't learn how to use AI, you're going to sit around in 5 years from now and go, hey man, I wish I could get in early on the next big thing. The big thing is here. You're just a lazy moron. What's most interesting is I actually thought if you would have asked me in my infinite knowledge before this AI stuff came along, which people are going to lose their jobs first, I would have thought, well, maybe truck drivers will have self-driving trucks, or maybe the people who work in factories, they'll have machines that can auto-pick the stuff or whatever. And that is true, that is happening. Skynet is real. It is about to go online. You can either stay poor, stay a loser, or for once in your life, you can be ahead of the curve and do something before everybody else does it. But do not do it lazy. Do not be the person in the river with the little stupid spade. You must attack it with all of your might, all of your gumption. You must be like me. You must attack fully and absolutely and conquer the space, leaving no room at all for competitors.